I got up first thing in the morning, and strangely enough, my jaw was hurting, and it just felt funny. And I got up and was sitting in the lounge, and over the next 30 minutes or so, that discomfort moved into my teeth. Then it started down my neck, and I just felt like, you know, I was agitated or something. But then when it got down into my chest and really started hurting, I mean, I knew immediately what was going on, so I called 911. But I'm sure this isn't typical, but I met the nurse, or the doctor that was on charge that night, afternoon I guess it was, and my doctor, Dr. Ponciano, was there, and Dr. Fisher popped in. And so I had a heck of a good start. I mean, they had it controlled and put me up to ICU to watch me for a while and wait until I could get into that new lab.
In 2011, the hospital worked with an organization called Corazon, who is a national consulting firm that looks at cardiology and heart-related programs. They did a study of the community and identified several things that we have subsequently followed up on. First, they showed us that the second leading cause of death in Lyon County is related to heart disease. We also found out that in Lyon County and surrounding counties that the rate of death from heart disease is much higher than the state of Kansas rate. So we looked at that and also looked at the availability of interventional cardiology services, specifically cath labs. And if you look at a chart that the American Heart Association has put together, you see most of the state covered, but there was a significant void around Lyon County. We were also blessed late last year to find out about Dr. Mulugeta Fissa as possibly being that interventional cardiologist. Quite honestly, we thanked our lucky stars that he was interested in us and have been extremely grateful and pleased that he has chosen to come here. And we were very fortunate to receive funding for the cath lab from the W.S. and E.C. Jones Testamentary Trust, which has allowed us to purchase $2.2 million of equipment to get the cath lab up and running.
Here in the cath lab, our main principle is safety and execution of the tasks as quick as possible with maximum safety. And we take safety to a higher level. And we start safety way ahead of the patient coming to the cath lab. And that is about 93% of the cardiology practices do through the leg. We take extra pride to say that we do the heart catheter using the arm. And that increases the safety to the patient. It increases also the comfort of the patient.
Patient safety is one of the key principles that we practice here in the cath lab. From the moment they get here, they arrive, check in at registration, they'll go up to ICU. We go through a procedure checklist, and it's very regimented for every patient. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we make sure everything is met before the patient comes down to the lab. Then we'll pick the patient up. We'll bring the patient down to our state-of-the-art cath lab. One of the things that we did when we first opened was we bought brand new Siemens X-ray. We have brand new balloon pumps that are state-of-the-art. They work on a fiber optic balloon. We also use temporary pacemakers. It was a huge investment. It's a lot of money that you have to spend on safety. The first thing we do is we hook them up to our brand new GE monitoring system. This helps us keep track of their vital signs throughout the whole procedure. It's a great tool, and it's a necessity to have for any cardiac catheterization. We have 3 people that are on the team, and each one has a specific job. We have one member who will sit inside the control room. They're in charge of controlling X-ray images as they flow, watching the intravascular ultrasound system, and also recording everything that happens in the room during the case. Our second person is going to be a scrub, and this person's at the table with the doctor, and he's usually handing him tools and making sure that he has every instrument that he needs, so that way the case goes very smoothly and there's very little interruption from the case. Then you have a circulator, and this is usually a nurse, and this person is responsible for giving the patient their cardiac meds, watching their vital signs, keeping track of their oxygenation, making sure that all of that is flowing smoothly and the patient's remaining hemodynamically stable. And it's those cases, that less than 1%, that you have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of equipment sitting around ready to go so you can save someone's life.
It's important that before we do the procedure, the patient and the family are very comfortable with what we do. One of the things we do is we give them as simple as possible. We sketch it and we make them understand what they are going through.
I was real comfortable at that point. He had demonstrated on the whiteboard what he was going to do and why, and he just exudes confidence, and I was really comfortable. Just go ahead and let's do it. But I had to wait a little while because that was a Friday and the lab wasn't going to be open until Tuesday. But I said, I like the nurses, let me just stay. I don't want to go somewhere else.
One of the big things that we did is we brought in a very experienced cath lab team to take care of the needs of the new cath lab. So we have Patrick Roos, who is a radiology technician. He's been doing this for 7 years. He's out of Hutch. Ray Aragon, who came from Wichita, also a radiology tech, and he's been doing this for 6 years. I've been doing this from 7 years, also coming out of Wichita. And our newest member, Justine Wiltz, is our registered nurse, and she's been at Newman for a little over 13 years.
Because the board recognized the need and has made the decision to proceed, in addition to that need, we also recognize both the inconvenience and the potential health benefits or damages that people could experience by leaving the community for these services, especially since time is muscle, as is said, when it comes to cardiac services. So we have put this in to be available for the community, and we are very, very hopeful that the community will support us and use these services as they are needed for them and their families so that we can continue to keep care local.
And I can say that we have a service that is equal or even better in stature to other places that are far away that patients used to use. Newman Cardiology, as a new addition to the service of Newman, encompasses several services. We have an outpatient service that gives an everyday consultations with our colleagues. We have services for pacemakers to follow them up. We have services for diagnostic procedures like echo and nuclear stress tests. Almost 80 to 90% of cardiac procedures and cardiac tests can be done here in Newman. These tests were not available in the past. This came in because the community of Emporia and the county has believed in it and worked from the outset. Thank you to the community for the support. Our job is not done, it's just got started. And we wanted to put Emporia in the map of a heart-safe community. Until we get all things done, we still will keep working hard.
I just hadn't had any energy, any enthusiasm for anything. And within 24 hours after we did the procedure, I was out in my yard catching up on what had gotten ahead of me. Yeah, you just feel like you get your life back. Yeah, like I said, I had the choice to go somewhere else or wait and get it done here. I mean, that wasn't even a close call. Not having to get in an ambulance and go somewhere else and start over with new people. It was just, that's worth a lot. I think. And Emporia is lucky to have the facilities and the doctor. They're both top notch.